Thank you for watching this Urban Renewal 101 video produced by Elaine Consulting. The goal of this video is to provide viewers with a greater understanding of urban renewal. Specifically, this video intends to give concise answers to the following questions. 1. What is urban renewal? And 2. Why is urban renewal used? Urban renewal is an additional funding source that can be used by cities and counties. Urban renewal is unique in that its financial impact is not on taxpayers, but rather on taxing districts, such as the city or the county. Urban renewal is also unique to other forms of city planning, as it not only provides a plan with projects, but also ensures a funding source for the projects in the plan. Urban renewal is used to implement economic development strategies, housing action plans, and comprehensive plan goals. Urban renewal allows local governments to focus investments on a particular area in the city or county. Cities considering the creation of an urban renewal area are typically facing the same problem. The city has an adopted city plan, such as a neighborhood improvement plan or a downtown improvement plan, but either has no funding or insufficient funding to complete the projects contained in the plan. The projects in need of funding are usually intended to improve infrastructure and address transportation obstacles to enable new development. Urban renewal is a financing tool that allows for the completion of the under- or unfunded projects. Residents within the city or county where the urban renewal area is located are generally interested in the urban renewal boundary chosen and what projects will be completed. However, for most residents, the issue of utmost concern is how urban renewal will impact them financially. Most residents want to know if creating an urban renewal area will increase their taxes. The answer is no. Urban renewal will not create an additional tax. Local school districts and education service districts are a concern for those who live in a municipality with an urban renewal area. The answer on how urban renewal affects school districts and education service districts is complex. The big picture is that school districts and education service districts are funded on a per-pupil basis by the state school fund. The state school fund has multiple revenue sources besides property taxes and has its own process in determining the amount of funding for each school district and education service district. Local taxing districts such as the city or county receive most of their funding from local property tax revenues. Property tax revenues are not constant for any taxing district. Revenues for taxing districts can increase in two ways. First, if a property undergoes new construction, a substantial improvement, or rehabilitation, an assessor is allowed to do a reassessment of the assessed value of the property. If the assessed value is increased, that increased taxable assessed value provides increased property tax revenues. Second, even for property that does not have a substantial improvement or rehabilitation, the county assessor can increase the assessed value of any property by up to 3% each year. This up to 3% increase is independent of whether a city or county contains an urban renewal area. When a city identifies a particular location as an urban renewal area, the property tax revenue stream is altered to include revenue for the urban renewal agency. The property tax revenue generated by the properties within the urban renewal area boundary prior to the adoption of the urban renewal area continue to flow to the regular taxing districts, while any increases in property tax revenue after the urban renewal area is adopted flow to the urban renewal agency. It is only the increases in revenue after the formation of the urban renewal area that will be redistributed to the urban renewal agency. This redistribution is referred to as the division of taxes. To understand the mechanism for the division of taxes requires an understanding of the frozen base and incremental assessed value, or increment. The frozen base represents the amount of taxable assessed value the year before the urban renewal area was formed. For the duration of the urban renewal area, the overlapping taxing districts will still receive property tax revenue from the frozen base assessed value. Increment refers to increases in assessed value, and therefore increases in property tax revenue, over the frozen base. This graph helps to explain some key characteristics of urban renewal. When looking at the first few years of revenue generated for the urban renewal area on the graph, it is clear that urban renewal funding starts at a trickle. Usually, an urban renewal area will not be able to fund projects until 5 or 10 years into the area's lifespan. However, once property tax revenues reach an appropriate amount, the urban renewal area can use its yearly income to incur debt, which will allow it to complete projects that cost more than the yearly income. Because urban renewal areas can incur debt, often the urban renewal area will have completed all of the identified projects, but will still be collecting property tax revenues to pay off the incurred debt. Finally, this graph also illustrates one of the typical consequences of urban renewal: an increased property tax revenue base for all taxing districts. Once the urban renewal area ends, the increased assessed value then becomes taxable assessed value for all overlapping taxing districts. In summary, we want to answer the topic questions for this video. First, what is urban renewal? Urban renewal is an additional funding source available to cities and counties which does not impact property tax payers, but property taxing districts. And 2, why is urban renewal used? Urban renewal is used to fund projects that would otherwise remain unfunded or underfunded, allowing the city to implement their vision of an improved community.